Hi there, Elsbeth. Let's take a look at the set of essays you have sent us. The first one is about international marketing. Here's what you wrote. Global marketing is becoming more popular nowadays. However, this trend causes two opposite sides of the arguments. This essay will elaborate desirable and undesirable impact of international marketing on people's way of living. Okay, it's fine in terms of the content. What you've written itself is okay. But you do have to clean up the grammar a little bit. So, global marketing is becoming more popular nowadays. However, this trend has caused two opposite sides of the argument. Now, here I think you should probably say what the sides are. That on the one hand it's positive, and on one hand it's invasive. And then this essay will elaborate on the desirable and undesirable impact of international marketing. Oh, or even better yet, because you see okay. This essay will elaborate on, yeah, you could do it like that. The desirable and undesirable impact of international marketing on people's, '(S), way of living. Okay, and that's fine. All right, let's move on. To begin with, it's not nationwide. I don't know why you've talked about nationwide here, because nationwide just means within the borders of one country. That's not what we're talking about. In fact, we're talking about marketing that moves beyond borders. So this seems to be like a wrong word choice, but it's the kind of wrong word choice which is really damaging because it changes the entire meaning of the essay. So that I really want you to be careful about that. Okay. So to begin with, international marketing brings a tremendous impact on people's way of life, not the. These could provide. What is these? These what? I think you mean this could provide. So full stop here. This could provide better, this could provide greater development on their day-to-day activities. I don't think you mean that. This could provide benefits to their day-to-day activities, particularly for those workaholic professionals residing in urban areas who have limited time to prepare meals themselves. Instead, they rely on the availability of frozen and ready-to-eat food in the market. Okay, first of all, this is a huge sentence. Look at this. It starts up here and ends here. So, and there's so many different ideas. You talk about the positive impact of marketing on people's lives, and then you start talking about food prep. So I'm a little confused about this. You definitely need to split this up into at least two sentences. And then we'll talk about the content itself and if it makes sense. So, full stop here. All right, that it provides a tremendous impact on people's way of life. This could provide benefits to people's day-to-day lives. Stop. For example, workaholic professionals residing in urban areas who have limited time to prepare meals for themselves can instead rely on the availability of frozen and ready-to-eat food in the market. For instance, space here. Fast food and frozen goods are widely in demand international products with a variety of choices and affordable prices. However, continuous consumption of commercialized food I don't even think you mean commercially produced food leads to damaging health hazards or health risks in the future. All right, so I am very confused about this paragraph for a number of reasons. Are you telling us here that this is how international marketing is damaging and invasive and intrusive? It's not clear. It's not clear at all. I don't understand how this whole thing about international food is relevant. You're not talking about international marketing anywhere here. There's just the availability of international foods. Okay, so it's a paragraph that definitely feels off topic, and it's kind of hard to understand. Some of it is grammatically incorrect, so it's definitely a paragraph that needs some work. All right. On the other hand, international economic partnerships contribute. I don't like the word huge, but contribute great development to the country, specifically in terms of education, cultural awareness. Leave a space between your full stop and your next word. Presently, The introduction of educational technology has enhanced... All right, this is too many words here, and it loses meaning. So, educational technology has enhanced the learning process, as well as the possibility of greater cultural adaptation, singular, due to globalization. For instance, online sites, you don't need to say this. For instance, the internet connects people globally using social media. In connection with this, gathering and exchanging valuable information such as positive ideas, learning different dialects, and learning different dialects. This makes no sense to me. Uplift individuals' fundamentals of learning. I don't really understand what that's trying to say. I think you're trying to say that because we have social media, we have the internet, and we are living in a global village now, that we can learn each other's languages, each other's dialects far more easily. Again, this has nothing to do with international marketing, though. Okay, so the problem here in this paragraph is twofold. It doesn't deal with international marketing, which for me is the biggest problem. But secondly, it's in many places incoherent, so I can't understand your meaning. It's not clear to me what message you're trying to get across. So, and that's partially because of your word choice, partially because of your grammar. It has multiple problems, okay? And then you have a fifth paragraph here. I'm not sure why. We typically don't recommend 5 paragraphs. We typically recommend a 4-paragraph structure. Let's see what you wrote in this. It's a little paragraph, which is another problem. So, furthermore, worldwide partnerships bring significant growth to the economy due to trading of technology, culture, education, and manpower. This powerful trend could also bind people into one goal in order to strengthen a stronger foundation of human existence. All right, that does not belong in its own paragraph. You should have either incorporated it into one of your previous paragraphs or developed it into its own paragraph, but it certainly is not developed enough to stand as a paragraph on its own. Finally, in my own view, global marketing and economic partnerships, provide a bigger impact on people's way of life, as well as to the economic stability. However, the undesirable effects of health hazards, in the long term should be given solutions. Okay, so I think I've been pretty specific about my feedback with this. There are multiple problems with this essay. They range from task achievement, because it doesn't feel like it's talking about international marketing at all, but it's really just talking about the pros and cons of globalization, which is not the same thing. Grammatically and lexically, there are a lot of problems that create incoherence. So there were areas of your ideas that I just didn't really understand. So that's something you definitely need to work on a little bit as well, okay? Why don't we move on to your next essay, see what you wrote there. All right, let's take a look at this movie preference, task 1. Oh, the bar chart, it's one chart, illustrates the data of young adults, and their choices of movie or physics categories globally. Overall, it can be clearly seen that comedy not made the most significant movie, but was the most popular among males, whereas, romantic movies are their least favorite. Okay, you decided to focus just on men. I think it would have been a better idea to talk about women too, because just reading this, it feels like the graph focuses just on men, but it doesn't. It focuses on men and women, so you might have wanted to mention that perhaps comedy was the most popular among men and women. Okay? Let's move on. In detail, singular, comedy movies have the highest number of viewers among males at about 145, followed by their female counterparts enjoying watching comedy movies at 137, full stop. This figure, stop, no S here, is similar in action films, the fans of which are mostly men. Okay, you don't tell me any figures about that, and I don't, okay. I don't understand this sentence, I'm afraid. Comes next is the most... I think you mean romantic. I think you're missing a word here. So romantic films come next as the most watched film by females, accounting for 116, which is almost 4 times higher than the male numbers for this genre, full stop. Romantic movies are the least favorite movies for men out of the 6 categories. So you see, there's a lot of stuff we have to change here grammatically. I understand what you're trying to say, but it doesn't come across the way it's written. All right, furthermore, drama, horror, and animation have almost similar figures, no in here, for both sexes with a smaller difference. Consequently, women enjoy, consequently is the wrong word here. Women enjoy drama, watching drama, while men preferred animation and horror. Movies, accounting, no, that's not the right word. How about just this? At 72 and 64 respectively. On the other hand, there are 64 and 54 women who are interested on those men. I don't know what that means. I don't understand this last sentence at all, I'm afraid. I don't know what we're talking about. I absolutely would have to look at the graph to see what figures you're referring to and see if I could come up with some sort of meaning to this. So, again, some incoherence creates a problem in this task 1, okay? So, Elsbeth, you've got the right structure of things. You've got the right idea on how you should be writing these essays. But with your task 2, we said that task achievement was a big problem. Here, it looks like grammar is really the biggest problem, as well as vocabulary too. But these problems with grammar and vocabulary create some incoherence, and that's what I want you to work on a little bit, okay? I'm going to recommend that you sign up to the online course because I think you'll need that kind of structure of the online course to help you kind of collect everything together and have a template that you can work with that will help you make sure your ideas are organized properly and developed properly. You'll get advice on certain sentence structures that are advanced and that will wow examiners. So I really would like to see you on the course. I think you'd benefit from that greatly. Hopefully that's something you can look into, something you can take advantage of. I hope to see you on the course, so wish you good luck.